You know, when you're the first of anything, you got to be good, especially with the NHL. Now, the player we're talking about today was the first ever Pittsburgh Penguin, first player signed by the team, but he was signed after almost 15 full years in senior hockey, and minor pro hockey. So today we're going to have to talk about the pride of Owen Sound, Ontario, two-time Stanley Cup winner as a scout with Pittsburgh, the great and very underrated Les Binkley. Now, Binkley played in the Nets in the NHL for Pittsburgh and in the WHA for the Ottawa Nationals and the Toronto Toros. He later served as a scout for both the Penguins and the Winnipeg Jets. Now, he spent his early career in the minor leagues and did not play in the NHL until his 30s. Now, we look at the rough stats that he played with the Galt Blackhawks of the OHA between 52 and 55, with the Kitchener Waterloo Dutchmen of the OHA Senior League in 55, the Washington Lions of the EHL in 56, as well as the legendary team. 57 and 58 with the Charlotte Clippers of the EHL. He played 127 games in a regular season. 59, he split time with the Toledo Mercuries of the IHL and his first AHL contest with the Cleveland Barons. Now back with the Toledo St. Louis Mercuries in 1960, played in 67 games. Now, he also played that year with the Trois-Rivières Lions of the EPHL. 61, back with the AHL's Cleveland Barons, as well as the Toledo Mercuries. 62, he became the number one goalie for the Barons with 60 games, and played with them from 63 to 66, where he put up 63, 65, 40, and 66 games with a dynamite 1966 2.93 goals against average. 67 with the San Diego Gulls, he played 53 games. Now, with expansion, obviously there was going to be movement for players like Les to make it. Now, in the minors, he won the Dudley Red Garrett Memorial Award at the AHL's top rookie in 62, and was awarded the Harry Hap Holmes Memorial Award 4 years later for lowest goals against average in the league. He was also the starting goaltender for the Pittsburgh Penguins in the team's inaugural season in the NHL. Now, during the 1970 Stanley Cup playoffs, which you talked about previously, he won 6 games, the first postseason victories for the Penguins franchise. He helped knock off Oakland in the first round 4 straight, and he took St. Louis, the eventual Stanley Cup finalists, to 6 games in the round of 4. After 5 years with the Penguins, he played the WHA again with the Nationals and Toros. He played 196 NHL regular season games and retired with a career goals against average of 3.12. Now, his 2 cups with the Penguins came in 91 and 92 as a scout for the Pens. Now, again, EHL second All-Star team in 57, Dudley Garrett Award Rookie of the Year in 62, AHL second All-Star team 64-66, Hap Holmes Memorial winner, fewest goals against in 66, WHL second All-Star team in 67. He won 2 Stanley Cups as a scout for Pittsburgh, 91-92, and also was the first NHL goalie to wear contact lenses in 1967. I think he wore it before, but when he came to the league, he was going to wear eyeglasses. I don't know any goalies that wore eyeglasses in the net, so it was more common appearance. Again, the first player signed by the Penguins club in his first NHL campaign. I think it was in the low 5 figures, but I could be wrong here. Now, a longtime resident of Walkerton, Ontario, he and his wife Eleanor have 2 children, Randall and Leslie, and 5 grandchildren, Jana, Jonathan, Curtis, Kara, and Jordan. Curtis Binkley is also a goalie and was drafted by the Guelph Storm of the OHL in 2002. Now, looking at the raw stats with Pittsburgh, first season 24 and 10 with 2.88 goals against average, 6 shutouts. But statistically, that was his best campaign. In 3 consecutive years with Pittsburgh, he won 10, 11 games. Last year at Pittsburgh was 72, where he's won 7, 15, and 5. Now, in the original WHA with the Ottawa Nationals in 73, won 10, 17, and 1. Then 3 years with the Toros as a secondary backup. He played 51 games with Toronto, winning 20 with a goals against average in the mid 3s, but had a bad last campaign went 0-6 in 76 with a 5.73 average. He also played with the Buffalo Norsemen of the NHL in 76 with a much better record, 11-8 with a 4.27 goals against average. So what is Les Binkley's biggest lasting impact on the NHL and WHA? It just shows that perseverance will get you through. The Cleveland Barons at the time had a squad that would be very comparable to an NHL team you would see in 2022 and even around the time of the last expansion. Cleveland, for a number of years, were a farm team of the Montreal Canadiens. They were loaded with prospects, former NHLers, future NHLers. But Pittsburgh in 1970, with a couple more players, and that was the first year, and last year, unfortunately, the great Michel Briere had played, and a lot of people were thinking great things for Pittsburgh into 71, but unfortunately, Briere died in a vehicle accident, and a lot of momentum for Pittsburgh kind of fell apart. He didn't get back to a big playoff run until the arrival of Pierre LaRouche and the second wave of success for Jean Pronovost. Jean Pronovost, the poor man Gilbert Perreault, as a lot of people like to call him. So you like what we're doing with our Vintage NHL podcast? Let us know what you like, comment, subscribe. Patrick Maresca made us a request. A good follower of the channel. We thank Mr. Maresca. And like he has said before, it rhymes with Fresca. That's his unofficial nickname. He almost gave it to himself, so I don't think he mind. But ladies and gentlemen, this channel is only good as the listeners and the people that do a request. So if you have requests, just remember they're always appreciated and highly, highly considered. Thanks for listening. Bye.